Hey everybody, it's Wintermute, and I'm bringing you my second video. I'd hoped this would be a lot sooner, but work has been crazy. I work for a company which is considered an essential business, so we're still working as of now, and we're kind of really getting our butts kicked in some ways. So it's eating up a lot of my time. So hopefully these videos will come a little bit quicker once things settle down. Because I've got a series of ideas I want to go over and concepts I want to go over, but we'll just kind of play it by ear, and it may be a little slower to start than I had hoped. But today I want to talk about two kind of key concepts, which are it's never just militia. This is probably the most dismissed unit in the game is the militia. We've all said, "Oh, it's just militia. We can kind of like just steamroll it and move on to the next fight in the next territory and not care about it." Unless the stack is huge, it really isn't that big of a deal. But one thing that I kind of realized as I was playing, when I would go deeper and deeper into China, I would take these I'd start to take casualties, no matter what kind of firepower I threw at them. And one thing I realized is, if a territory has 4 militia and 2 infantry, then those 4 militia, unless you throw in a ton of firepower or roll really well, are going to absorb most of the hits for the first round, which gives the infantry basically 2, maybe even 3 rounds of rolling. So it kind of is a multiplier effect, and then that's not even including if these guys actually get lucky and are actually able to roll a hit or two. And I realized that's where most of the grindiness of going into China kind of came into effect. So that I never dismiss militia because I've never dismissed. Those when you've got a handful of dice and you're just rolling ones or twos, never dismiss that as, oh, he'll never get any hits or whatever, who cares, we'll just roll it. Because I have had strategic bombing in a game where a player against me rolled that right there. 1, 2, 2. And as soon as he rolled the dice, he rolled his eyes and goes, "Oh God, I'm so sorry, dude," because the odds of actually rolling that are really low, but it can happen. So that's kind of the second point I want to go into is hit potential when it comes to planning out your builds and how you want to build up your defense and build up your units. So what I have in front of me are, I've got 12 IPCs or IPPs worth of units in each group. This is 6 militia. This is 4 infantry. This is 3 militia and 2 infantry. Now, when you look at these, one thing that I, once I became more familiar with the game, one thing that I started looking at this differently as is, when it comes to rolling in combat, this is potentially 6 hits. This is potentially 4 hits. So this has a higher hit potential. This has a lower hit potential. But this stack of 4 infantry is more likely to get hits than this stack. And I mean, I could do the math and average it out and do all that, but I don't like getting that deep into. I think there's a certain point where you're kind of overanalyzing it, and I don't want to just turn this game into one giant mathematical equation. But I look at infantry and I look at militia differently now now that I've kind of realized hit potential and the number of hits versus more quality of hits, meaning I'm more likely to get at least 1 or 2 hits. So you can kind of look at it as, if you're looking to make sure you get a couple hits, then this is your better bet. If you're looking to try and score more hits, this is your better bet. Now, of course, this stack here in the middle is kind of the compromise between the two. Another thing to consider is this stack can absorb 6 hits. This stack can only absorb 4 hits. Just another way of looking at it. And of course, this is again the compromise of about 5 hits. So when you're planning your builds, that's just maybe a new way to kind of look at it, or a different way of looking at it is hit potential, and the ability to absorb hits based on the type of units you buy. Now, there of course are other factors involved. These guys, only get to move in your home country. So if you're doing combat operations outside of your home country, obviously you may want to build them just for that fact, just for that reason. But if you're just on the defense, this may be your better bet. And then this is kind of a compromise in, well, I want to build some more. I want to be able to absorb some hits when I get attacked, but I also want to have the potential to go out and counterattack later on. So again, not a long video today. I just wanted to kind of put this concept out there of as a way of kind of looking at stacks of units a little bit differently. Again, this is 6 hits potential to absorb 6 hits. This is 4 hits potential with the potential to absorb 4 hits. And then, of course, again, the compromise. So in some ways, that's kind of how I look at units now. And I never disregard militia because I've seen players just roll fantastic with a militia because we like I said again, we've all said, oh, it's just militia, but never really discount it. You've always got to plan. You always got to think, what if they really do hit when I attack that territory? So just something to think about when it comes to looking at units and making your decisions on how you're going to purchase them. And hopefully this week I'll be able to follow up with a few more videos. I don't know yet. We'll just have to wait and see. But if you've got anything to add to this kind of idea or concept, or the way I kind of look at the units and militia versus infantry and things like that now, go ahead and make a comment in the section below, and maybe we can get a good discussion going. Maybe you think I'm completely moronic for looking at it this way, or maybe you think I'm, okay, that's something I hadn't thought of. But if you've got anything to add, please feel free to leave a comment. And this is Winter Mew out for today.